All right, what is up, everybody, and welcome into this week's edition of the South Florida Comedy Calendar. This show where every single week, guys, we keep you up to date on what's happening, what happened, and what's coming up in South Florida comedy, guys. We have an really incredible guest with us this week, guys. He's a powerhouse in the South Florida comedy competition game. We shouted him out earlier this month after he won his most recent competition, and he's graciously accepted our invitation to come on here and grapple and battle with us in the arena of words. And I couldn't be more excited. But before I get into that, I want to introduce my co-host for the evening. That is my man, as he is every single week, Art Roach. How you doing, brother?
Sebi, man, Ye does not disappoint. It's been another week. He's been on the headlines nonstop. Donda 2 is breaking records, but weird kind of records. You can't really get a lot of the songs on certain platforms.
No.
I can't even shout out one of the songs, at least Julian's favorite song on the album right now. He sings it out loud, full throat, all the words. It's good
full
to see.
Throat. That's a mouthful.
Full-throated. Full-throated.
There you go. Okay.
But so Ye not letting anybody down, man. I'm looking forward to what he has for next week.
I mean, I'm just looking forward to Donda 3, honestly. That's really where, at this point, I'm so satiated on Donda 2, I need the third installation. And it just pains me to know that we're going to have to go through another complete mental psychosis breakdown just to get that album.
What's Kim going to do next?
I don't know, man. There's a lot of AI on that album, too. Like he got Kim Kardashian saying some crazy stuff.
Really?
I think it's AI. I don't know.
I don't think it's AI, dog.
Well, she said, in the clip, she was like, yeah, Kanye is, the greatest, richest black man in America. I just don't think she'd say it that way. I don't know.
They were together for a long time.
They were together.
And he records everything.
Yeah, they were together. That's true. I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore, guys. Art's AI. So what are we here to talk on this show to talk about?
Exactly.
When we actually have a completely AI entity that is constantly interacting and working with this show. So I guess
the new Chinese technology is working.
Yep, the drones are working. But guys, speaking of Chinese intelligence drones, this next comedian, he may not be a Chinese intelligence drone, but he is one of the funniest Mexicans down here in South Florida. The king of Homestead, guys. Everyone in South Florida and in the community newspaper studios right now, I want you to put your hands together for the great Rolando Gomez.
Yeah, like I said, he's not a drone, he's not intelligent, he's not Chinese. You know what I mean?
None of those.
No. Checks off all those boxes, though.
But I do love Kanye. So
Hey,
Welcome to the comedy calendar, brother.
he only likes the new Kanye.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the new Kanye.
Not 2006, 2026 Kanye. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me, though. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, you're welcome. You've earned the right to be on this show, dog, for real. It's honestly always great. Not only when we get to see you out at the competitions over at the Miami Improv, but anytime I see you out, dude, going out, you're one of those guys that when we see that set or we see you and we know we can watch your set, it's like, bro, let's stop, check it out, take some time because, bro, you always bring that shit. And
big shout out to the Rolando Gomez fan club because dude, you have some of the more. Every time you come out, you come deep. You got 6 people with you. They're all about it. They all hold it down. I mean, I think the last time at the competition, a couple of them even walked away with a couple of credit cards and stuff. So it's a good group of guys. Though. They always taking care of you. I like that.
It's like a symbiosis relationship. I'm winning and they win with me.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. That's great, man. And we're really excited to have you on the show. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about, man. But first, I want to get into what happened last week in South Florida comedy, guys. One of the biggest shows that has come down here to South Florida in recent memory. It was a little bit further north. It was up in West Palm. We had the Killers of Kill Tony come through Friday of last week, guys, doing an incredible show. Me and Art were out there hanging out, watching the show. All the guys killed it, man. All of the guys absolutely murdered the freaking show, man. It was dope. And
I'll start out with a big shout out to Darius, man.
Yeah.
The manager, he every time they come down, he hooks it up. He's a man. He makes it look easy for these guys to get up there and get on stage. He gave me the hat, so shout out David Lucas with just having that merch out there all the time. They had David Lucas was there. He had a headline. They had Ari Mahdi, Martin Phillips, and Cam Patterson just destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they had both shows fully packed. And I got to hang out backstage a little bit with them and take a little bit of backstage clips. So I think we have something for that.
Yeah, bro. That is dope. It's a great shot, too.
Sold out crowd.
Yeah, man. I was over at the Kravis Center, which is a space that I have actually performed at before, man. I haven't been on that stage. I was in the back space that they have there at the Kravis Center because it is so massive of a venue. And they were incredible hosts, man. They put on an amazing show, and I couldn't be happier to have been able to go out there and just be a part of that little thing, just in any which way, shape, or form, man.
And to watch a machine, it's a machine, dude. They're going. I mean, they were literally 2
Art's a
days
machine.
before.
He's an AI machine.
2 days earlier, they were in North Carolina. Like in the beginning of the week, they were in San Diego.
Yeah.
Right after they left, the next day they had 2 shows in Fort Myers.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy to see how they just keep bringing these guys in town after town. It's
Hell yeah.
really impressive. Oh, and shout out Lin from Kravis Center. One of the employees I met there, she was really awesome. And when I got there, I didn't have my ticket with me. She helped me get figured out. So appreciate that.
That's cool. That's cool, man. That's awesome. I really, I must say as well, shout out to Oscar, who's over at the Kravis Center, man. I actually was able to catch him for 1 second.
Nice.
He was walking out, and we were able to see each other. He's programming director out there, guys. One of the nicest, best people I've ever worked with in South Florida in terms of being someone who's in that position of booking, getting people on point, running the shows. Like, he does everything over there at the Kravis Center, man. Huge shout out to him and the rest of the backstage staff as well.
And I know he's a busy man, but if he does have availability on a Monday, we have an open invitation.
That's true.
Love to get him out here for a podcast.
Absolutely, definitely, because we do have, on top of Comedy Calendar, don't forget, guys, we have SoFlo Comedy Insiders, which is our other show that we run out of the same studio that includes every single person who is even adjacently involved in South Florida comedy to be able to come in and just talk a little bit about what they do. And Oscar, you have a standing invitation to come on that show and give us a little information about the Kravis Center and what's going on there. But moving on, though, to this week in South Florida comedy, guys, on Monday, we have a show down in Brickell that's back with a vengeance, guys. Miami Comedy and Manny Garavito are going to be running Red Bar again every single Monday, so you got to keep it on your calendar, guys, and be out there because it is so much fun. The space in Brickell where it's located is really, really dope. There's so much stuff to do around there.
I'll be there tonight.
You're gonna
for
be
sure.
there?
Yeah, 100%. And I love it. I love the room for one thing. It's walk-in traffic of tourists.
Yeah.
So if you want to get your stuff in front of non-Miami crowds while you're still in Miami, that's the place to do it. I mean, last time I was there, we had Ohio, Michigan, New York. I mean, everybody was non-Miami, so it was really, really good show.
Nice, man. That's awesome. Have you ever done Red Bar?
Yeah, I love Red Bar. That place is really where you go to like test out your material on like he said, non-Miami crowds. So like if you want to get like a taste for something out of Miami, Brickell's always the best place to go try it out.
For sure.
Yeah, dude. And then like Miami Comedy, Manny, he's been, since it came back, he's really trying to like get the word out.
Nice.
It's like it's back. Come on now. And I mean, last time I was there, I did 20 minutes.
That's dope.
So
Nice.
it's still getting up there. He's giving people time.
That's dope. That's dope. Actually, now, guys, we're going to be skipping over the day Tuesday. We're moving over to Wednesday, everybody. And right now, this is a show that has only happened a few times, guys, but it is a show that is going to, I know, be around for a very long time because of all the benefit and all the great love that's being put into it. And that is the Puff Puff Pass show over at the Vape Queen Lounge, man. And Art, you are going to be on this show that is ran by Ellie Rodriguez.
I can't be more excited, dude.
What is it going to be like? Tell me about it.
So Vape Queen, I haven't been there yet, but we've been shouting them out for a couple of weeks now. They have a special $10 pre-sale pass that comes with a pre-roll. So if you buy
pre-roll?
Yeah.
Wow.
If you buy the pre-sale pass, you get a pre-roll.
It's a pre-pre.
It's a pre-pre.
Damn.
You know anything about me, you know I'm all about deals.
You all about the pre-pre.
And that's a deal that I can get behind.
Got you.
So this week I'll be hosting. We have Zach Newford there, Mike Dabo will be there, and we have Ernie Osuna that will be there as well. And of course, Ellie Rodriguez. So definitely come by, say what's up.
Yeah.
She has a new sign-up procedure. This is not an open mic, but for any of her shows now, you can visit her page, and she's got a link, and you can pre-sign up for all her shows now.
Do you say Mike Dab is going to be there?
Mike Dabo will be there.
What?
Hey guys, Mike Daba from the future here. I am here to talk to you about the shows. Wednesday night, that's going to be a fantastic show. Art's going to be hosting. It goes really great. Art, I miss you so much, man. It's been a long time. Just do your crowd work on the right side of the room. Okay. Just stay away from the left. All right. Fantastic. You guys want to know? I don't have a lot of time. Do you want to know anything else about the future? I can't tell you everything.
Tell me about Thursday. How did Thursday go at the Miami
Thursday,
Improv? Dania Beach, Fort Lauderdale Improv.
The Fort Lauderdale Improv, the Have Nots comedy show guys, this show is incredible. This is why I'm here. This changes everything. This is the pivoting point. everything happens. The 55 states are so proud of this particular show
What?
that happens. I've said too much. I've said too much. I love this show. It's a fantastic show. I'm going to be doing interviews afterwards. It's packed with killers. We've got Dom President. Dom, I can't talk about it. Maybe 10 years future. He's going to win the Nobel Prize.
Wow.
It's going to be fantastic.
Wow.
For comedy?
I'm not. I've already disclosed too much about Dom.
How about Lando Gonzalez?
I would've thought-
Lando
Pulitzer.
Gonzalez is building his own empire.
Wow.
Comedy empire around the world.
Is Pam Bruno still alive?
Is that an empire?
Pam Bruno's such a funny comic. She's still alive. She is in jail. She
For crimes against humanity.
now she's
She violated the Geneva Convention?
she
What?
killed a man with laughter. She did it on purpose, though. That's why they have footage. They saw it in her
degree.
eye.
And how about Clyde Gordon? I mean, he headlined.
Clyde Gordon blows the roof off of tonight. Every piece came together. Sorry, it's not tonight. It's Thursday. I'm a little time warped up. Okay, guys, I need to figure this out.
How do you get into the studio?
Yeah, how
Actually,
did
this is a
you
lot.
get here, dude? This is a private, like,
I don't know whose body I'm in right now, but I feel shorter. It's not bad, actually.
Have you been in a lot of other men's bodies?
What?
wow. How did you get here from the future?
I can't talk about it. I might just disappear if I give you guys too much information.
Wow.
By
So-
the way, congrats on the kids. It's nice to see that they all look like you. Mine did.
Wait, in the future, boys can make babies with boys?
I will say
I
this.
miss you so much.
I will say this, man.
Wait, am I not
guess-
there in the future? Hold on a second.
I mean, I thought that
Just stick to the right side of the crowd.
I just, I honestly, I thought that I was going to be talking about this Have Not show today and kind of giving you an idea, but it looks like Mike Daba did it all for us, man. Told us about how it was going to go. So it's really up to you now if you want to change the future. Do you want to be there? Do you want to be at that Have Not show at the Fort Lauderdale Improv this week, guys? Because, I mean, from what it sounds like, it's the moment.
Yeah.
It's the pivotal moment.
the nexus moment in this
the nexus
timeline.
moment. Yeah.
And the thing I regret not asking him is about Donda 3. I mean, he could have told us about Donda 3.
Damn it.
Like, what is Kanye gonna
No!
cook up next? You know what I mean? Like, but how did he get in here? Where's
don't know.
Rolando?
But he may have reached the singularity because we are fully back to like normal, I guess.
Yeah.
Because
The light stopped flickering.
everything's back and Rolando.
And I lost 100 pounds.
Damn, bro. Welcome back, dude. We were just talking about have-nots and Mike Daba was here from the it was weird, but have you ever done a have-not show?
Oh, I haven't done have-nots yet. I'd love to, though. I love what Dom's doing with have-nots and like promoting just local comedians at the improvs at Dania and at Miami. So, I respect Dom a lot for doing that. He doesn't have to like use his platform to promote anybody. So, I'd love to do it, Dom. If you're watching, please, put me on.
But I will say, like, this show might be a little far because it's the Fort Lauderdale one, but definitely is worth, like, the next one he has in Miami.
Yeah.
Come out, check it out, say what's up. Because you guys get to see a little bit of how the machine works behind the scene. And then, now, like, he has all these, like, I'll call them extracurriculars. Like, he'll do like videos during the show. He'll interview people before the show. He'll do some videos beforehand. So there's a lot of ways to kind of get involved and interact.
And before I even started comedy, like have-nots was something I looked at before I even got out to open mic. I was like, well, what is
Me
this?
too.
Yeah, so it's always interesting seeing people from have-nots to blow up and stuff because it's happened. They've gotten like millions of views on IG and stuff. So it's awesome what Dom does for the comedian community in Miami.
Amen, brother. Amen. I mean, look, I'll say this. I think this show specifically this week, I mean, obviously, Daba came from the future to let us know it's a nexus moment.
Right.
It's definitely worth one catching.
The singularity.
But any of the shows that they're doing, and now they're doing, I mean, he's doing not only like these have-nots live shows, but he did one with Luis Diaz, he did one with Brittany Brave, where he's like leveraging his brand.
I
with
believe
other
they're
brands.
also going to be doing like a dating show coming up in
Yeah?
May too. It's like a different variety show they're going to be doing as well. Yeah, it's going to be really cool, man. And that's one of the things that also you guys got to look forward to. Follow Have Not specifically now on social media because coming into this year and going into the future, they're going to be having these variety shows attached to the regular stand-up show. So they're gonna have their stand-up shows. They're gonna do their classics, but there's also gonna be shows now that are different. Whether it be a roast battle, whether it be like the dating show that they're gonna be doing now. There's definitely gonna be some really cool stuff that Miami Comedy is going to be collaborating with Have Nots on to create these new experiences. And man, I think you guys really want to be locked in on what's coming from Have Nots in this next year because it's going to be big stuff, man. Really, really cool. Moving on, though, to Thursday, guys, at the Wynwood Higher Grounds at the Arlo Hotel, everybody. We got our boy, Art Roach, doing the show out there with Paulie. Man,
dude.
Super dope. Huge shout out to her as well. She always is somebody who is producing some of the best shows in town consistently, man. And she is also somebody who is hilarious and super funny in her own right.
And multi-hyphenated. I mean, she's doing everything.
She does the voiceover work. She does a lot of really incredible stuff out in the scene, and somebody that I think a lot of people could learn from in terms of being able to produce and doing certain things. But I will say this, you are going to be on the show.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Dude, I am excited. Right before the show, actually, she texted me. So we'll be featuring Julie Baez and headlining Mike Citron, which are both people that I got to watch over the last week, opening up for Guy Tori, opening up for, they both did Guy Tori, but Citron was there for somebody else that I saw recently as well. But either way, so both people that I've been watching on stage and now, I'll be able to perform with, so I'm super excited about it. Mike actually will be our guest next week.
Cool.
Yeah, so that'll be awesome. We'll be able to find out.
You guys got that to look forward to. A little recap of that show and also what he's been up to recently at the Miami Improv.
Yep. And Dart Vision is out of town. My boy's still in Spain. He's enjoying Ibiza right now.
Nice.
But he will be back on Thursday. So hopefully I'll have him for that show. We'll be able to get a nice recap for next week.
Dan, you haven't sent one picture. You're the photographer, bro. I get it. You're on vacation.
Yeah, he's on vacation.
You're hanging out. But you can take a picture with your phone, just for the boys. Make a group chat. Let us know you're good.
All right, I'm gonna send him a message. Yeah, I gotta find out. I mean, he sounded pretty laid back when he's like, "I'm in Ibiza." I was like, "All right, whatever, dude."
Hey, he deserves it. If anyone deserves to go to Ibiza and lay out on a beach for a few days, it is Dan the man, Dan from Dart Vision, guys. Go follow him right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can wake up in the middle of the night in his offset time, this 9-hour time difference, and he'll see 13 new followers on that Dart Vision page.
And what's hilarious is I'm wondering if he's going out clubbing all night, because that's what he does here. He works at clubs all night.
Right.
So I'm wondering what he's doing there.
I would hope not. I feel like that's like if you're a teacher and then you go on vacation and you're like, I just want to go to the local university and walk around the library and stuff. You know what I mean? Which is actually what my dad used to do when we would go on vacation. We go into DC and my dad was like, let's go to Georgetown and just walk around. Gotta love it. Got to love it, everyone. But moving on, though, from Thursday in Wynwood, guys, this next Thursday show is something that I am super excited for. It is something that I think is long overdue. And again, we have the man himself with us to be able to promote it. So that's why I'm so happy that we lined this week up to have you on the show, man, because we got the City Hall Bistro, 7:30. But what that means is the return of comedy to Homestead, baby.
Yeah.
And I cannot be more excited that Homestead produces a bunch of really funny comics, and those guys out there in Homestead that make their way out and into the comedy scene in Miami and sometimes even Fort Lauderdale and beyond, those guys are the ones that really care about this stuff. Those are the guys that are really grinding, man, because Homestead is super hard down there, bro. So anybody who's out there doing shows, mad respect, but also you're now bringing the comedy to Homestead. So
Yes.
I'd really love to see that. Tell me about that show, man, and tell me how it's going down.
Well, it's at a nice bar in City Hall. They just renovated. Everything looks brand new. The bougiest place we could find in Homestead, which is tough because, ain't nothing bougie about Homestead. So, people are always asking me, when are you going to do a show in Homestead? When are you going to come down here and make us laugh? You're always leaving. So I'm super proud to bring it down and, for me to headline.
So you are doing the headlining.
Yeah, I'm headlining.
Oh, dude,
yeah.
big
Good
ups,
shit,
bro.
man.
Yeah, shout out to Raul at Dade County Comedy. He always looks out. He's always been putting me on, so I appreciate that. And to just have my city, not my city, but where I'm from.
It's your city, bro. You're the king of the South, man. We're like our own little Mexican OT.
Yeah, Mexican FAT. Nah, but to just represent my city and then have it come down and have people to come out and just enjoy comedy.
Who do you guys have featuring and opening for you guys?
On the lineup, we got Adrian Hernandez, also from Homestead.
Cool.
Jay Millie's hosting.
Nice. Also from down
Great.
south.
Also from down south, we got Jose Rojas. My
Transplant, yeah.
You mean Jose Rodriguez?
Jose Rojas, my Peruvian Australian brother. We got Joseph Medeiros and Kevin Reyes, 2 young guys coming
TV.
up. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, you know, Spare
Dope.
TV, you know, I got them on the show. Love them boys, you know.
Hell
They're always looking out for me, so I decided to give them a shot too, you know.
That's
Good
awesome,
stuff.
bro.
Good stuff.
So yeah.
And what kind of? I mean, I haven't been to the room yet. Like, it's just a restaurant style. Like, how many people are you guys expecting? What do you think?
It's like a 60-person room, so it's pretty big. So we're trying to fill it out. We already got like 30 reservations and stuff. So we're like,
well, just
halfway
your
there.
people
Yeah.
showing up. You know what I mean? It's gonna be, dude. You got like the last. That's I actually sent it to Sebi. Like one of the last posts. You have like maybe like 1,000 followers, but one of your last posts got like 17,000 views
Yeah.
or
Hell
something.
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, that's somebody punching way above his weight class.
Yeah. Everyone's always
You don't,
telling
have to,
me
you don't
that.
have to knock on it like that.
I mean,
You know, it's true though.
yeah.
I appreciate
You're still
that.
fat. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not big, but you're fat. Is that what you meant?
That's exactly
Okay.
right.
Okay, no, I'm down to get in any weight class.
As long as it's the
Sumo.
as long
Yeah.
as it's the women's league. I got you. Yeah.
Exactly. Shout out, what's his name? Caitlin. No, but I appreciate it. You guys like letting me platform this. You know, come to Homestead. I know it's scary, but
Is there a cover? Is it free?
no, it's free. It's free. 2-drink minimum, like we do at the Improv. You know,
Nice.
so we get to make a little bit of money ourselves.
Yeah,
so
bro.
you know, pull up. I appreciate you guys for like letting me shout this out and stuff. You know, it lined up. The stars aligned.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir. No, man. And I'm glad that we were able to get you on to promote the show because it's going to be one of the coolest shows and hopefully one that's going to be happening consistently, man.
exactly.
How long do you guys think you'll be doing it before you go again?
Well, right now it's just a one and done.
Okay.
So hopefully we get to show them like, yo, we could bring
Nice.
people to your thing.
Hey,
you know?
well, if that's the case, then guys, you got to go out and support.
Yeah.
If that's the case, and you know that this show is contingent on us going out and supporting and having a room consistently, means sometimes us going out, sharing it, spreading the word. So if you got the time, put the flyer out on your story, repost it, do it. It's all over Rolando's page. It's all over Dade County Comedy. It's all over Raul's page. It's all over Adrian's page. You can't. It's hard to miss. I've been
Yeah.
seeing the flyer everywhere. So you guys have been doing a really good job. But everybody else, definitely give them some love and support because we want this show to be able to happen all the time. So we have comedy everywhere in South Florida, man. Everywhere.
Exactly.
There shouldn't be a comedy desert anywhere in
Yeah.
South Florida,
Yeah.
man. At all. Everybody deserves to laugh and everybody deserves to get it at a very convenient way. So I love that you guys are filling a gap that is needed. Man.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
not just putting together a show to put together a show. You're like seeing like, hey, there's value to be had here. This is why I'm
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
you know,
awesome.
there's a big demand down there, especially, you know, every time I see somebody in public, they'll be like, yo, when are you having a show here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to drive an hour to go laugh. You know, I want
Right.
to drive down the street, get drunk with my friends and go home.
Right. Yeah. Of
So
course.
it's like, it's a big thing for us. So I appreciate like Raul, everybody who helped me put this together. So
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
big
dope.
shout out to DCC and Raul, man. Like he's always pushing. You know what I mean? He's never scared. He pushes
Yeah.
and pushes
Yeah.
and pushes. So another show, and all the comedians out there, man, get out. I mean, I unfortunately will not be able to be there because I'm gonna be at the Arlo on Thursday. But dude, no excuses, man. Everybody
yeah.
else get out there.
exactly. Yeah. Pull up.
Hell yeah.
So, moving on now to the weekend, guys. We have some shows through Friday and Saturday over at the Miami Improv. 2 shows each night for Kev Herrera, everybody. Man, this guy, his social media content is second to none. Super funny, man. He is a New York comedian through and through. He's got the vibe. He is not the first time he's come through the Improv. He's headlined there before, so he's coming back into town. So I want everyone to be able to go out there and show love and show support. We're going to actually be giving away 4 tickets for that show and a food and bev comp, guys, of $100. So if you want to enter in that competition to win some shows for that Friday 10:30 show at the Miami Improv, definitely take this clip right here and put it on your story. Then you're going to go into the comments and you're going to tag 3 friends that you would take to the show with you. That's all you got to do to enter the competition. Once you repost it to the story and we see your comment, that's how we know you've entered. We'll be choosing a winner on Wednesday. It'll be going out on our page. So definitely get to sharing this right now and get to putting it on your story so that everybody knows this weekend at the Miami Improv, we got Kev Herrera. But moving on to what's happening not in Miami this weekend, guys. It is no longer South Florida's comedy calendar. We are now moving into the international comedy calendar, everybody, because this weekend I am honored and blessed enough to be able to go out to Nassau, Bahamas, and be able to perform at Tuga Comedy Club, a brand new club that is just getting started, something that is super, super special, and I think I'm getting into the ground roots of being able to perform in one of their first couple shows, man. It is truly, truly an honor, and I'm going to be out there Friday and Saturday. We got 2 shows each night. I mean, hey, if you got the bread, come out to the Bahamas, man. If you can friggin' fly yourself out, come out, enjoy. There's gonna be shows. It's the Bahamas. It's not that far. It's a quick little plane ride, you know. But huge shout out to everybody over there at Tuga Comedy Club who's gonna be running the show with me, man. I couldn't be happier.
Well, first and foremost, got to shout out Ronnie, man. Ronnie Badger, dude. Ever since he got to Nassau, we've been talking about what he's gonna do. I'm not saying that he created Tuga. I don't know what the whole story is there, but he put them on the map for us, and just following what's going on. All these comedians that are been growing and performing there, and now seeing you go over there is gonna be amazing, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, we got a local host that's going to be doing the show, that is Shad Fur. And then we have two other comedians that are going to be with me. Featuring alongside me is Chanel Ali. She's a New York/Philly comedian. And then we also have headlining that show is Anthony Moore. He's been in a bunch of stuff, guys. TV, straight up comedy, everything, man. You can definitely go follow all those people. If you go to my page right now, I have a post that is reposted on my social media that tags everybody. Go follow all of them and keep up to date with their careers, but also keep up to date with the shows at Tuga Comedy Club. Go follow Tuga Comedy Club. They have a lot of great stuff coming up. They have a lot of cool stuff coming out, so definitely give them a little follow and keep up to date what's happening down there in Nassau, Bahamas, guys. But moving on to Sunday, we got one show and one show only happening over at the Miami Improv. This is at 7 p.m. And it's going to be for Ryan Davis, man. Ryan Davis, somebody who's been in the game for so long, one of the pioneers of like comedy content being viral on social media. One of those guys that really took that by the horns when it first came out and rode that wave to the top. And he's coming through the Miami Improv to luckily only be able to bless us for one night, but that's enough for us to get it in.
And one of the things that, like, in looking up, like I'm doing a little research on him, what everyone says that he's quick-witted. So his crowd work is on point. You know what I mean? All his material is fast. And we just found out before the show started, he actually is one of our producers, Rachel's favorite comedian of all time. She has posters of him in her room and stuff. It's crazy. So it's
wow. You got to get out there, Ray.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Ray actually said that she's been following him since MySpace. So I don't know what that means, but I think that's like OG stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's been like...
She saw him on Vines, I think.
She saw him on Vine.
She was watching his crowd work on MySpace.
That's dope. He had
crazy.
captions on MySpace.
Yeah.
He had caption
with
clips on MySpace, dude.
with camera tracking.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Opus Clip.
Yeah. Brought to you by Opus Clip. But moving on, though, to the... look ahead. I want to do a quick look ahead to a few shows that are coming out of the Miami Improv that have just been announced, guys. We got Steve-O coming through
nice.
the Miami Improv, guys. Look at that. We don't have the exact dates for that show because they just went up on the actual website. But if you look ahead, I believe it's in June. Steve-O is coming through the Miami Improv. Again, guys, we got Chris D'Elia coming to the Miami Improv very soon in August. Get your tickets now. If you really are that much of a fan, don't sleep on it. Get your tickets now. Don't wait. Don't let another paycheck go by. These tickets could sell out at any moment. And the last one that I want to shout out that is something that just went out on the calendar that I am super, super, super excited for, and that is Josh Johnson. He's going to be here in December. It's a long look ahead out, but Josh Johnson is already on the books and up on the Miami Improv website. So definitely, guys, go there right now. Get some tickets if you're looking forward to that. If it's something that you're interested in, get your tickets now.
Dude, last time when he was in Fort Lauderdale, he sold out so fast.
It's absolutely going to sell
it's
out.
going to be crazy.
Yeah, we're lucky that we're letting you know now, this long ahead. If you're really a fan and you love his stuff, please get your tickets now. MiamiImprov.com, nowhere else. There's nowhere else where you're able to buy tickets for the Miami Improv. If you get it on any other website, just know they will not be accepted at the door. So always check out that Miami Improv website. And if there isn't tickets available, guys, and it is sold out, don't forget, you can always message the Comedy Calendar. Comedy Calendar can always hook it up if there is space, if there is availability, if there is a waiting list or any of that information. Try and reach out to us through DM before doing anything rash, like paying $250 for some tickets on StubHub that you're not going to be able to use.
Right.
Just a word of advice for you guys. But that is this week in South Florida comedy, guys, and international comedy, guys. We're expanding here on the Comedy Calendar, onward and upward, always and always. Now, I get to my favorite part of the show, guys, and that's where we get to interview the guest of honor, man. And it is somebody who I have gained so much respect for in a very, very short period of time. I think we've been doing comedy around the same amount of time. How long have you been doing comedy? When did you start?
I started in 2021.
Okay.
So October 2021.
So you've been doing it for 4 years?
Almost
right.
4 years. At the end of the year, be 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Started when I was 20 years old, young buck, fresh out of high school. And I didn't really have
You finished high school when you were 20 years old?
19 when you finished high school?
high school at 19 years old.
Okay.
I got held back and shit. Yeah.
got held back.
Yeah, not for grades, but for behavior.
I figured because you had to go work the fields or something.
No, because I was trapping in the hallways. No, no, but yeah, 3 years, 3.5 years.
All right.
Well, I figured trapping in the hallways is what they teach you in Homestead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I learned it.
Yeah.
The streets. No, but that's dope. So then you started comedy. Where were some of those first spots that got you out there that you were like, because obviously you're out there in Homestead. What were those
Yeah.
first kind of rooms that you were like, I'm going to go and try this out?
So the first room I ever did was Exit 1. Remember that?
Oh,
Tap room?
yeah.
Exit 1 tap room. I did that room with Raul. That's why I love Raul so much. He let me go up there and he didn't even fucking know me. So he was just like, all right, go ahead. So he let me do like 10 minutes my first time.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Yeah. And I have no jokes, nothing. So I was just up there basically just talking like how I'm talking to you guys for 10 minutes to like 2 people. And that was my first comedy experience.
And that did it for you. That,
Yeah.
that got you big.
Yeah. That where I was like, okay, this is it right
Did you
here.
make him laugh?
Yeah. I got a couple laughs and I was like, okay, this is it. This is my life now. two people at a random bar on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I loved it. So now I'm doing this, you know?
That's what's up, man. And so when you first got into comedy, what was it that made you want to like even approach it? Or what was it that you were like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to like get myself on stage and write some jokes.
It's 2 comedians that I credit for that. The first one being Andrew Schultz. I watched his special, the 441,
Yeah.
where he did 4 different sets on the same night. That's where I was like, okay, you don't have to like be a robot on stage and do the same written shit every fucking mic. So that one was really inspiring me to do it. But the person who really like made me want to get on stage is Patrice O'Neal. R.I.P. You know.
Yeah.
But seeing him do his stand up where it was just him, it wasn't even like an act. It was Patrice on stage. That's where I realized I was like, okay, I can do it and be myself. I don't have to like be an act.
Right.
So that's what got me into comedy. After that, it was like around 2020, and I was just watching comedy and then doing a couple shrooms every now and then, and then you know a shroom trip hit, and I was like, you know, I gotta do this. I have to do this.
I think like going back, like I remember like one of the first times I saw you like really kill was at Sandbar, like years and years and years ago, down south.
Yeah.
And I remember like the ease with which I wouldn't even call it crowd work because, now that you kind of mentioned Patrice, it makes sense to what I saw, which is like the ease with which you are okay with being yourself on stage. You know what I mean? And you kind of like let everybody in the crowd acclimate to that. You let them, you know, you're not pretending to be somebody else. You're who you are. You say it right up front, and you let everybody come to you. Once they're there, you take them on the ride.
Exactly.
You know?
Yes.
You have such an ease that you do that with that it always impressed me. You know.
Yeah. Thank you.
And
I appreciate that.
And I remember one time at Sandbar, like when that time after you got off stage, I mentioned to you, I was like, dude, like I would love to see you hitting this hard and seriously. I would hate to see you in like 10 years from now and you not have taken it seriously and not have gotten anywhere with it. And I think in the last couple of years, dude, you've been hitting the mics, you've been getting the reps, and you've been winning competitions, bro.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, it's working.
No,
It's
yeah,
doing
for
something.
sure. Like I've always taken those conversations to heart. Every time somebody's coming to me off stage and was like, "Yo, you got to do this. Like, I can't let you give up." Like, you know, and I appreciate you for that. But I like those moments is what I really like love about comedy. Is like it's not really necessarily performing in the crowd. Is what happens after when somebody comes up after. You're like, "Yo, that was funny. That was hilarious," and you see it in their eyes where they're like, this touched them more than just laughing. It was like something they needed to release.
Yeah, like Kanye and his cousin.
Yeah. Exactly. Type shit. Cousins. Yeah. Can we be cousins?
I think we already are.
Okay, bet. When do we link it? No,
You're gonna have to fight Julian for him, I think.
That's true. That's true. And Flip.
Yeah.
oh shit. No,
a
I'm
lot of
good.
cousins
I'm good with art.
But that's dope, man.
Yeah.
It's true. And I think what you said is 100% one of the things that actually keeps comics going.
Yeah.
And I say this a lot too. When somebody comes up to you after a show and they're like, "Oh my God, that was like super funny. Like, I love that." Or like, if somebody like, I mean, I don't know how often it happens to other comics because I don't know how many people are repeating at the same venue. But I know for me at the Improv, I'll perform on the show, and if it's like a bigger show where there's a bigger crowd for like the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, every once in a while somebody will come through and they'll be like, "Oh hey, I saw you the other day."
Yeah.
Like, "Oh my God, that was so," like just them, that little moment of someone remembering you, or when they see you, you can tell that, like you said, they remember the feeling you gave them
Yeah.
on stage, and it's like they don't even have to remember one joke, but just the fact that it clicked
Yeah.
is like something that is so like you can't describe that kind of feeling. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Or when you get off stage and that feeling after you get off stage and you just like you just killed.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you just made everyone laugh. Every comic is dapping you up. Like
Yeah.
like you don't have to speak for, you don't have to say anything about it.
Yeah.
Everyone, it's already unspoken.
Mhm.
Those moments are some of the ones that are always like I feel that keep you going. You know what I mean? Like that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
like that's what we're doing this for. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's and I remember recently I saw a local comic who had like just recently started doing comedy. He was I saw him performing at a show, did a super good job. Like one of the first times I seen him do like a great like from top to bottom good set. Everyone laughed, everyone was off stage, and I watched him walk off stage and with like the look in his face. And like you see that and you're like you see it from the opposite
Yeah.
perspective, and you're
Yeah.
like, that's what it looks
Yeah.
like. You're like, that's what, and you almost want to tell that person, like, hey man, like, remember this feeling.
Yeah.
Like,
this is why we do it.
this is all it's about. Like, this is what it, like, if you don't like, if this ain't enough for you,
Yeah.
then get out right now, because
Yeah.
I was like, this is the feeling we chase. Like, this is what it's all about. And, it's funny because you can't tell that person that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because
Right.
you don't want to like, you can't ruin the
Ruin it.
moment
Yeah.
for them. You know what I mean?
It's like talking about a no-hitter.
Right,
Yeah.
It's
right,
like
exactly.
you don't want to...
Exactly.
Exactly.
You can't
Yeah.
talk about the no hitter. You don't mention it. You don't acknowledge it. But it happens, and when you see it from like the outside perspective, it almost feels just as good watching somebody else go
Yeah.
through it in
Yeah.
that moment, or somebody that you've seen go from like an open micer who had never done comedy before to somebody who's able to like control a crowd, make them laugh, get off stage, and feel good about it. you
Yeah.
know? Like that shit is awesome.
No, yeah, you see it all the time, like coming up. Like, I'm not necessarily like an older comedian, but I always tell the younger, like the newer people, like, if you're doing this for money, you're not at the right place.
Yeah.
You get no money from comedy. You get paid in laughs.
Yeah.
So
But I think like one of the big payoffs is like this bistro show that you're going to be doing, where
Yeah.
it's like if you look at the lineup, it's all people from our school or earlier,
Yeah.
or like or like younger, right?
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
we're no longer like relying on like the old heads
Yeah.
to carry a show for us. Like
Right.
we know, like I know it's going to be a good show. Like everyone you named on this lineup is going to kill. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you know, it's like it feels good to know that you're gonna have a whole show of people that is our people, and when they get off the stage, they're all gonna have that feeling of
Yeah.
like, man, this went well.
yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
then now that like, you know, I'm like 3 years in, I'm cultivating like a little fan base, especially down there. Like I get to like promote them now. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I get to put eyes on them now and stuff.
Mhm.
So that's also a crazy feeling too. Like, cause that's what was happening to me like 3 years ago. People were just putting me in front of people and like I guess trusting me to make them laugh. And now to be on the opposite end is kind of crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Well, one of those big opportunities that I wanted to ask you about is I know you did 2 different shows at the Improv with the Elephants in the Room
Yes,
guys, which is
yes.
the Dade County comedy operation, I
Yeah.
guess. Tell us a little bit about how that kind of came about, where it kind of went.
Okay, so that came about with Melissa just blessing us with an opportunity, you know? So she didn't really have to bless us with that. So I appreciate you, Melissa, you know, always. Everyone here does, you know, she's like the godmother,
real.
right? She's like the godmother. So she gave this opportunity to Raul, and Raul, like, I guess, let me get on there. Like, he didn't even have to do that. I was like, what, a year and a half in? Like, to trust me to do the improv and then to do 10 minutes and then sell tickets is like crazy. So yeah, Elephants in the Room, it was just the Dade County Comedy Boys deciding to do a show at the Improv, and somehow
It was you, Adrian, Tarno, and Raul, right?
and Raul, and then we had
Pico.
and Pico, and then we had
Oh, that's right. Jeff Quintana in one of the shows.
yeah,
That's right.
we had him headline it. It was fucking dope.
Yeah.
You know, I always love seeing Jeff perform. You know,
Well, and seeing you up there was one of those moments for me where I was like, damn, like the little green monster inside. You're like, damn, like I'm as fat as he is. I can be an elephant, you know?
Yeah.
And but it was good seeing you up there, man. And I'll be honest, like for those shows, like you brought out, I don't know if you brought out the most people, but you brought out a ton of people when you
yeah.
were there. And you were very confident when you were on stage. I mean, you did your thing. You made everybody laugh. You know, you represented very, very
Yeah.
well. So afterwards, I was like, they picked the right guy. He did a good job.
No, yeah. Those moments, like, I'm so glad that I was able to build this trust with Raul where he could just put me up anywhere. He's like, all right, I already know he's going to kill. So, you know, it's just about putting in the work and gaining this trust from the other producers in Miami to be like, okay, Rolando's pulling up, just throw him up, you know, and that's what we're working for, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that's actually how the Sebi and I kind of started our friendship. Is I was hosting all over town, and he would come from the Improv, like always late to the shows because you know Improv
Yeah.
finishes kind of late. And I would see him, I'd be like, "Oh my God, thank God he's here! Sebi, come here!
Yeah.
The crowd is tight, man. Can you get in there? I'll give you 10 minutes. Just loosen them up."
Yeah.
He would go in there in the middle of an open mic and just pry each person open, pull out the stuff
Yeah.
from them.
Yeah.
The next comedian had an easy job because all the information's out
Yeah.
there. The people are already looking for it, So it's important to have those trusts with showrunners and producers. And dude, you've done it, man. I mean, everywhere you go, people throw you up. They're dying for you to go up.
I'm trying, man. Like what I do is I just put my head down and I work. Like people will say like they don't see me as much as at the mics, but every time I go out, I have to make it count because I don't go out as much as I can't go out as much. So every time I go out, it's something new. Like I hate redoing my old stuff. I love doing new stuff. Even if I bomb that one day of the week that I went out, I still like, at least I tried something.
And you got something out of it.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. And I will say you're one of the people that have boosted me up. Like seeing you perform and like the next day your clip is online. Like you're not like, for me, sometimes I'll sit there, I'll second guess myself which clip to put up. And then I see you put yours up and you get the love for it.
Yeah.
Everybody's commenting, everybody's so it's boosted me up actually to create my system and work out where I'm getting better at putting clips out. It pays off. It shows. You know what I mean? And dude, like I said, like one of the last clips you put, you got like 10x the number of followers you have to see it. So it's like you're making an impact with what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was the Mexican guy skit. That was the
improv. That's at the recent competition. You know, I had just got off stage and I talked to Dan. I was like, yo, I need that ASAP. And then he sent it to me and I put it out as soon as I could because like, as a comedian, you kind of like don't want to like put out stuff for free because you want people to come see it. But at the same time, how are people going to find out about you if they don't see your stuff online? So that's why I'm always like pushing these new guys to like just keep putting shit out. Like put your stuff out there. Like
it's the number one thing people ask me when I tell them I'm a comedian. They're like, "Oh, can I follow you on Instagram? You have your clips online?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I have a couple." So it's like I can't wait till I have enough to where people can go in there and really fall in love with it. They can see 10, 12 different clips of me on stage and be like, "Oh man, this guy's got stuff." And with what you were saying about, that's one of the things I'm pushing myself now too. Is like I don't want to do repeat sets anymore. I don't want to keep polishing the 0.0001% shinier when I got a turd that's at 80%. I can still polish it up to 10.
Exactly.
I mean to 100. So it's like. Seeing you do that boosts me up, dude.
Like,
keep doing it. Keep pushing.
Like you already know once you have a good joke. Like you already know that, oh, this joke is gonna kill. So when I have that, I'll just put it in my back pocket. All right, I'm done with polishing it. On to the new one. Because it's only so much you can polish that like at some point it's kind of like counterproductive. Like you're just polishing for no reason. Like you already see your reflection. Like get another one and keep polishing that one. So that's what I try to do with comedy, at least with my jokes. Like I always try to have something new every time I go out, I have something new I want to try out.
So it's like evident that you think about comedy, you think about how you do these things. Maybe it's a function of how far away you are from some of the rooms or just the way you are, but it's obviously led to some amazing results. I mean, you have, many competitions at the Improv under your belt. So it's definitely panning out. So the most recent one, the Easter competition that you won, what was your thinking before that? Like, how do you kind of get ready for these things?
So usually I'll just be like, I obviously get really nervous. Everyone does, especially competitions. But I always, like how I said, you get like these showrunners to trust you. You also have to build that trust in yourself. Like, okay, I put in the work. I've done the mics. I've done the hours. Now it's time to show it, and you gotta muster up everything you've built, like the foundations you built on, and just release it, like show them, all right, look, this is what I do. I'm a fucking comedian. I'm here to make you guys laugh. So, and it's also just having confidence in your own abilities, Sometimes you'll like trip yourself up overthinking, like, should I do this joke? Should I do that? But I always go off feeling, like however the crowd's feeling, I try to mirror it and then try to expand on it.
It's noticeable, dude. Like I'll tell you, like when I watch you interact with the crowd, a lot of times watching a comedian, especially if I've seen their set, I can kind of anticipate how they're gonna go, where they're gonna go with it. And a lot of times, like you'll stop a thing halfway through if it's not working and pivot fast. Or you'll take something somebody said and like really change your joke to be kind of around that thing. I see you pivot very fast. It's something that messes me up. Right? I'm a little bit of an overthinker. I have a kind of a game plan as I go into a set, and if I start down the road and it's not really going the way I want, it kind of throws me a little bit. But I'll remark, man, you pivot so fast. Like even at the competition, I don't think you did a single piece of material until the end of your set.
Exactly.
Like, it was all just getting the crowd on your side. You know what I mean? And you got them because you won.
But that's how Miami is, though. Miami crowds are very, like, standoffish, especially at the bars or like the random, like, mics that we do. Like, nobody wants to hear your written shit that you came up with. Like, they want to talk about themselves because Miami's very, like, conceited. like even the people, you'll notice like everything's about them. So with my comedy, I try to make it about them, so that way they give a fuck about me. You know?
Yeah. It works, dude. The previous competition you won was last year's Thanksgiving turkey contest, right? Did you eat that turkey?
Yeah, definitely. We had 2 turkeys. I had brought my own. Yeah.
He shows up. He's like, "Mama, you said this comedy was gonna pay.
Exactly.
Look at this turkey.
Yeah.
We're eating off my comedy."
We eating for free, mama. Yeah, exactly.
Hell
yeah.
And do you guys season it any differently on turkey?
That's up to her. Like I don't be in the kitchen. I be cooking on stage.
Nice.
You know. So.
But even but in between then, you did be you were a finalist for Florida's Funniest Comedian competition. That is something that is a huge accomplishment, man, for anybody, and it's huge shout out to you for going out there and killing it that night. What was that experience like? Not just advancing at that Miami Improv show, but then moving on and doing that second leg. Like, kind of talk to us about your experience and kind of how that was.
It was awesome, dude. Like, it showed me a lot. It taught me a lot, even though I didn't go to the finals or win anything. But like, just being in the competition or like being in there, like, showed me that like I can hang with these people. You know, like I have the talent to be up here. So it showed me that like I'm not as far off as I thought. Cause you're just doing these mics every night. You're like, what is it for? You know, like, am I working towards something? And then when I won that, I was like, okay, I am working towards something. You know, I'm building up a repertoire of like abilities to do on stage and stuff. So to be there and like just be a part of it, Florida's Funniest, like even to be a semifinalist, it shows like, okay, there's some talent here. Like I'm building something. So it was awesome. You know, shout out to Renee, right? Renee,
Yeah.
She's dope. I love Renee. She put me up last because I got there late as hell. I thought I wasn't even gonna go up, and they still let me go up. So shout out to her for like giving me the opportunity. So.
And I think of all the people that passed on the first level, I think you were the one that had been doing comedy the least amount of time. Everybody else was like 5 years plus. I think averaging closer to 10 years.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Big Pedro and these guys. So,
yep.
dude, like to stand out amongst that group shows that what you're doing is
exactly.
It pays, you know.
Especially like 3 years in, like you don't really see a guy at their 3-year mark doing stuff like this. And I don't mean to compare myself with others, but you kind of have
we're
to.
comparing you.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing is that I'm a proof is in the pudding kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like while you're doing it, I can disagree with you the way you're doing something, but once you put the results on paper, I can't disagree with the results. You know what I mean? And I was there for not for Florida's Funniest, but for all the other competitions. I was there. I was in the room. I saw. I was actually hosting the last one.
Yeah.
And when I went up in my head, I'm like, dude, like he won. Like there's no way, you know. And then when they did the cheer, I actually asked them like one more time, and the crowd exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was able to go up after you.
That's right.
I was running the show that night, so I wasn't competing, but I was able to go up after you and literally completely ride that wave into an amazing set that was just like so easy. You got that crowd completely hot. I could have gone up there and like gone like into the mic and they would have probably laughed. Like it was you destroyed that night, and rightfully so. I think one of the things for you as well that is so dope is that when you're on stage, you have a command of everybody's attention, like whether it be your personality, the way that you draw them in, the way that you approach it, but everybody immediately locks in when they see your set and when they start hearing you control the crowd or do your thing. It's really dope. And for these competitions, do you ever go in with like a strategy at all? Are you actively just kind of like, yo, like fuck it, I'm just gonna wing it and see how it goes? But do you plan any part of your actual set?
Well, okay, so that's funny you say that. Most of my life is just winging it. So that's why I graduated at 19. Yeah. You know,
Makes sense.
I go with the flow most of the time, but I do have these joke like concepts in my head that I'm like ready to throw out there if like you said, if I need a pivot. But I usually just go with the flow. Like I think that makes it so much more easier for me because I don't have like an expectation to like do this joke or have this joke killed, because I get to like just flow. Because I look at comedy as like an art, you know, like not you art, but like an art. So usually an artist, I like one of my sisters, she's an artist, she paints, and she tells me like my best stuff will come from when I don't have anything to do, you know, like when I don't have like an expectation myself to do good. So I took that account, and I do that with every set. And what like helped me really build that stage presence and command the crowd was just doing these mics in Miami, bro. Because Miami they don't care about like if you're not established, they don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Even if you are a celebrity, they don't really care.
Yeah.
Like they'll walk past you like, oh, I
No,
guess
we've seen TJ Miller come through the improv, and he like does this whole set at the end. He's like, yeah, I used to do jokes, but then I realized you guys weren't really fucking with it. And one of the local comics who was opening for me told me I have to make it about you.
Yeah.
And so I made it all about you guys, and you guys loved it, right? And then everyone
Yeah.
clapping, and he was like, "Yeah, you know." But like even TJ Miller, who's a
Yeah.
super famous,
Been
super
in Deadpool,
established comedian, performs everywhere in the country and destroys. Is like, yeah, I gotta switch it up for Miami.
Yeah.
I gotta make an adjustment.
It's because of Miami, like the people there, the celebrity.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm trying to take a picture with them.
Even when they're not, like the mailman dude from the show earlier
Yeah.
that we did at the
improv,
improv that we were talking about, that competition. There's a dude sitting in the front with like button down shirt,
Yeah.
a sleeve, like bro, like
ripped as fuck, like shredded.
He had like jewelry, looking
Yeah.
like if he's like, you know, he hit it big on crypto or something.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
we were like, and I was like, I think a few people had messed with him already. Grace had done some crowd work with him. You did crowd work with him, and it was a kind of a recurring joke for the night.
Yeah.
And then when I started talking to him, I was like, bro, no one's even asked you your name or like anything about you. Like we just been ragging on you, dog. I was like, what do you do? And he said mailman.
Yeah.
And it was like, what the fuck? You're like, bro, this guy looks like he just is like only trading stock on the S&P
Rico
500.
Suave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rico Suave. And he's like, no, I'm a mailman. And you're just like, what is going on?
Yeah, he looked like he got a penthouse in Brickell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
30 bitches on his dick. Like he looked
None of
Drove a
incredible.
Maserati here,
Yeah.
left it in valet.
Yeah, none of that. He was going to visit. He was there supporting one of his mailman friends who was performing. I guess. Like,
he was supporting a coworker.
yeah.
That's crazy. Exactly. So that's what like the thing about Miami is like everybody's literally like in their own world. They don't care. Like
Yeah.
especially because Miami's so beautiful. It's like you gotta just appreciate yourself. So
Yeah.
to win people over, you have to like really like touch, like not touch them, but like, I guess like come at them like if you're making a friend or something. You know, like be interested in them, and then they'll be interested in you.
Right.
Have you traveled at all for comedy? Have you done comedy in other cities of the States?
Nah, bro. I just been.
Well, I guess your PO won't let you.
Yeah,
That's true. That's
I got
true.
a year left. Like no, but like I've just been doing Miami, bro, because this is where I'm from. Like I'm broke as fuck. I do comedy full time. Like I'm a student too, but like nobody like. What am I gonna do with student money?
Well, the reason I mention this is because I think there's a nice part of, you know, getting out of Miami is there are some like in New York, for example, audiences are expecting you to do material, right? So there's a little bit of a difference when as you travel, you get to kind of like hone in those skills a little bit more. Like recently, I was in Naples. I did Naples in Boca in like 1 week, and dude, those crowds were different.
Yeah,
they were not the crowds I was used to. So, but it takes. I think your style will do well there because you'll sense them first, and then you'll adapt to where they are.
Yeah.
Where I had a little bit of a rough start because I was trying to get them on board without, you know, like I'm trying to get the ride going without buckling everybody in.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite work, you know?
Yeah, you got to get everybody ready, especially if you're like more of a dark humor person or like a how you say confrontational or like something that's where it's like people would mess with those type of jokes. You gotta like make them like you a little bit at least first before you take them down that dark path. It's
So they know you're joking about.
Yeah,
those things.
exactly.
So even if they disagree with you, they're not like oh, he's taking this super serious.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Especially nowadays, you know, when people are like standoffish about like certain jokes and stuff. Like I understand that too. Like, you know, you don't want to like say something fucked up and it has some like talk about somebody's dead grandma and then their grandma died last week. You know, like you gotta feel the crowd out, you know, is what I'm trying to get at. Like you can't just throw all your dark stuff out there or all your like pedophile stuff or like, you know, because you know, comedians, we're just dark thinkers in general. Like
Shout out Julian.
shout out Julia, my favorite PDF. But you know, like we just think about messed up things all the time. So our brains aren't like normal people's brains. Like nobody's thinking about pedophiles. Like
it's like these people just got off of work.
Yeah,
they're not ready for the garbage we're about to throw at them. Gotta get them ready for the garbage.
Exactly, you know.
So, seeing that you're doing all this, you're working in the game now. You're a full-time comic, obviously, like you were saying, other than school. But moving into the end of 2025, the rest of it, and going into like 26, what are some of your goals that you want for yourself? What are some of the things that you hope to achieve, kind of now looking out in the short term?
I just wanna be at the improv more. Like I love the Miami Improv. It's such a great space to do comedy. Like it's so well engineered to just make people laugh. You know, that's where that's every comedian's goal
Mhm.
is to just be at the improv more. So I just want to open for somebody, anybody. Like if I ever get the chance, Melissa, if you're watching, like put me up, and I promise you, like I'm gonna do as best as I can, you know. And that's my goal, is just to be at the improv more, doing what you guys are doing, basically, you know. Just like get the trust from Melissa to like host something or open for somebody.
Well,
know?
here's the thing: are you gonna use your pass that you won at the next New Faces?
I'm saving it.
You're saving
I'm
it,
saving it for towards more like the end of the year.
Okay.
like, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, don't use it for the competition because then you can't compete.
No. Those I like. If I need the money, I'm always going to do a competition.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm gonna save it for like not this one, but like maybe like the next two.
Okay.
You know, I still want to get some new stuff before I get on
Nice.
the improv stage again.
Nice,
You know?
nice. Yeah, man. That's. I mean,
Well, and shout out New Faces next week.
yes,
Yeah.
it is next Wednesday. So if you guys want to sign up now. See if there's still a few spots left. Remember, newfacesfl@gmail.com is the email to sign up for that, guys. But bro, I think if that's your goal, then I think that you're right on track with that, man. Every time you come through the improv, you absolutely prove yourself. You know, every time that you're able to not just come through and win a competition, but perform like you were with DCC and
Yeah.
Elephants in the Room, and like every time you've proven yourself. So I'm sure there's no question about you'll definitely, I think, be on a show very soon at some point, opening up for somebody at the improv, and at that time, we're definitely going to be shouting it out.
yeah.
We'll be interviewing you for
Yeah.
a comedy calendar, getting a little more information on how it was your first time opening at the improv and doing your thing. So we'll definitely be documenting this guy opening at the Miami Improv sometime very soon. I just have a feeling.
And one of the perks of being a guest on the show is once the cameras are off, I'll give you some behind the scenes information on how to
dope.
make some of that easier.
For sure. No, I definitely appreciate that.
and see, Art doesn't even know that he doesn't even know how easy this is. It's crazy. It's
That's
crazy. Even he doesn't know.
Yeah.
But that is one of the benefits, of course, of being on the comedy calendar, guys. But you always want to stay tuned, guys. Thank you, Rolando, man. We are coming to the end of our time here, man. It was really, honestly, bro, such a pleasure to have you on. Again, being one of the funniest guys down here in South Florida, consistently proving yourself, consistently winning competitions and showing what it takes to work at this craft. And like you said, always come out with new material, always try and push yourself. Like, man, it shows how much you work, you put into it. Definitely, if I had to give you any advice, bro, get out of Miami. Not all the time.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying go move somewhere else, but
Yeah.
I'm saying at least once get out and do a show somewhere
Yeah,
else. man.
DCC, leave Tarno behind one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming you have to get him like 2 seats on the plane, dude. Like, come on, Rolando fits in one, dude.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's why I lost the weight. I was trying,
Exactly,
trying to be more mobile.
Nah, but for real, man, if you like get an opportunity or try and find yourself an opportunity where you're going to be able to get out of town
Yeah.
and do your thing, because it's really refreshing to be able to go out there and do your material, all that material that you have in your back pocket.
Yeah.
You can go out there and do a 20-minute set somewhere out of town that no one's ever heard any of it, no one's ever touched any, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like no
yeah.
comic has probably even gone close to any of those bits or material. So
Yeah.
I think for you, one of the things that you should absolutely do is go out there, whether it's New York, Austin,
Yeah.
LA, any of those spots, you go, you do your thing, man. I think you'll get a new perspective on doing comedy. It's one of the biggest things that's ever helped me was going out of town and doing my shit somewhere else. Huge confidence boost, bro.
Yeah,
It's
for
a
sure.
huge confidence boost.
No, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, so just last things before we wrap up. Last week, Wednesday, I went to Thank You Miami for their All Arts open mic. Shout out Tricks MIA. If you're an artist, come out there, perform. But they let me go up, did some comedy. It was a great time. But one of my friends that I met there, Cyrex, is a freestyle rapper. He's a rapper. He just debuted a brand new song called Mango Mission. Dude, there's so many talented artists, not only comedians, but also freestyle rappers down here in Miami. So this is my challenge to all the local artists. Dude, let me know when you come, what your original songs are coming out. I'll shout them out here on the podcast. Check out Cyrex, Mango Mission, new song. He's got a bunch of songs, but really, really good, man. Really, really tough. I don't know. I loved it. And I love to see how the musicians are just so helpful with each other. You know what I mean? Everybody was taking pictures of each other. Everybody was posting each other. Love to see more of that in the comedy world as well.
Hell
and then
yeah.
the other shout out is for anybody that has comedy podcasts. So if you have a favorite podcast or if you run a podcast that's comedy related, send me the link. Over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be every week. Hopefully, I'll be doing a deep dive into the podcasts and then doing a quick review here on the comedy calendar, just to kind of get everybody aware. There's a lot of cool podcasts out there. When I do my research for comedians, I discover a lot of these things. So I want to bring some of the best ones to the community and let them know. Shout them
Heck
out.
yeah.
Can I shout one out real quick?
Hell yeah, let's
Yo, shout out to the Yo Adrian podcast. Coming soon.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
Oh, coming soon. I was going to say,
Yeah.
I'll do a review. I'll be the first one I'll review. Wait, that's Adrian. Our Adrian?
Yeah, Adrian Hernandez.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was on Adrian's first podcast.
Yeah.
I did.
Pause for edit.
Yeah,
he's-
pause for the
Oh,
edit.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I was on that show once when I was promoting my first improv show that I did on my birthday.
Nice.
Yeah, Adrian had me on. We were able to talk. It's dope. I'm glad
Yeah.
to see he's actually doing another show.
He's bringing it back, but this time at his house, not at the smoke shop.
Nice. Yeah. A little more applicable.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Huge shout out to that though, then Adrian. We'll definitely be reviewing that on Comedy Calendar when it goes live, bro. Damn, that's dope. That's dope. Man, Rolando, thank you again, bro. You've been a really, really fantastic guest. Anytime you got a show down here in South Florida, like your new show there in City Hall, anywhere else in South Florida, man, let us know. We'll promote the hell out of it. We'll make sure that we get it out there on the show. But also, I 100% think that soon, again, guys, you will definitely be getting a recap here on Comedy Calendar with this guy opening up for somebody, doing a weekend at the Miami Improv. So if you're a stand-up comic and you're somebody who maybe hasn't ever done the improv, you're going to get a first-hand account of what it's like doing your first ever sets there on a booked weekend. You're going to get it, and you're going to hear it from this guy right here, because that's what Comedy Calendar provides for you, a closer look and a closer vibe on what it's like, not just being a comic down here in South Florida, but living that life and experiencing it. Art, anything else before we get out of here, man?
No, just looking out for Donda 3 whenever that's ready.
Can't wait.
That's the.
I honestly can't wait.
Julian and I actually created a script online, so anytime anyone mentions it, we'll get flagged immediately. We'll be on the
Got
lookout.
you. Nice.
Nice.
That's dope. Art does have push notifications on all of Kanye's social media, so that is you're already.
I'm back. I'm back on the A train.
You're well on your way there, baby. He misses not the old Kanye. He only likes the new Kanye.
Yeah.
I don't miss the old Kanye. I like the new Kanye.
He's looking forward to
That's what
the Kanye.
that's what I've heard Art say.
Yeah, no
a
more
few
college dropout.
No, none of that.
Donda 2 and above. That's it.
There you go. Well, that has been this week in South Florida Comedy, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And don't forget, every single week we come to you live right here from the Black Studio in South Miami with the community newspapers. Thank you so much. Shout out to everybody back there who came out to the show. Dabba from the future. We got Julian out there, Rachel producing, and I think that's a stray Simon Tia that has entered the chat as well. He just stumbled into the studio, but we love to have everyone here present and about, man. Thank you guys for tuning in as well. Until next week, stay laughing.